Hi guys, PJ45 here, playing more Back to the Future.
Emmett might be in there, but I should head over to the soup kitchen and call the Browns to make sure. Hey, how you doing, Heidi? Psst, Doc.
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
How do you remember this phone number after 50 years?
It's a mnemonic for a dirty punchline I learned when I was 12. Now, get to the soup kitchen and find out where I am.
Where have you been all this time? I missed you.
I miss you too.
Oh my
Marty,
god, it didn't
but I thought it
save.
was
Oh.
important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
Hang in there, Doc.
Not the best choice
I got
of
called.
words, Marty.
Dignity! Sorry, I'm listening to music.
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. I say he's calling.
The courthouse? Doc never told me he worked at the courthouse.
Won't let me save.
Don't touch those. These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm, Sonny Crockett.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact. Naturally, they won't find out the original age doesn't come out unless that's fictitious. Or do it take age stamp and permitting a lineup? But age, they won't find out.
Go talk to Doc.
Psst, Doc.
Marty, how goes the escape plan?
Well, I met your younger self.
Great.
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... the Hill Valley Expo!
Expo?
Yes, the Expo. How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure. One which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him, but right now, my younger self probably thinks he's been sent by my father to check up on me.
What does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self was working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know. H to the something with an inverse of something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
I still can't figure out what your younger self is muttering about.
Blast! If only I could hear him myself.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
Not sure. Maybe if we solve that problem he's working on, he'll be more inclined to trust you.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget we're on a bit of a deadline here.
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. Oh. Or do we take H step if we're getting a line up?
So, Doc, does this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was going to say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals a Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So,
It'll be fine.
listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator?
Yeah.
Great Scott! If H is the Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day
Come
or two.
on, hurry
Well,
up.
you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
I want to save.
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to a competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done. I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered the subpoena. Part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket power drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. It'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
Arthur McFly? I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Shh! It's Kid Tannen.
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
What the hell, Matches? You got kiwi all over my socks!
Sorry, boss.
Get out of here. How about you?
Huh?
I'm sitting at a shoe shine booth. You walk up. Either you're here to shine my shoes, or you got a death wish. Which is it?
Oh. Shut up.
I'm looking for a guy named Arthur McFly. He's my, sort of a relative.
Well, he's my employee. He's very busy today.
No. I mean, if
Isn't that Arthur McFly's hat you're holding?
It was McFly's hat. Now, it's my peanut ball.
Can I have some peanuts?
Why not? I'm a magnanimous kind of guy. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
on
Hey, kid!
Yeah?
What the hell is that? Hey!
What did you do?
Oh! Give me that hat, you lousy crook!
Emmett! Emmett!
Nobody makes a monkey out of Kid Tannen! Hey! Al, fix me up!
Where'd you learn how to move like that?
Sandlot football. They used to call me the Streak.
Get out!
don't like the controls on this.
Doc! younger self needs 190 proof booze to fuel his rocket drill.
Oh, that could be a problem.
I know, we're both underage.
Underage, nothing. It's 1931 and alcohol's been outlawed throughout the country. Are you sure you're about to graduate from high school?
I'm kidding, Doc. It was a joke.
A joke? If I live to be 100, and I almost have, I'll never understand a teenage compunction to make a joke out of everything.
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine, fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer in 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
Were the
Where'd the DeLorean come from? The last time I saw it had been smashed to pieces by a train.
It's a fantastic story. Do you remember when the DeLorean got struck by lightning in 1955?
Yeah?
Unbeknownst to either of us, the lightning produced a temporal duplicate of the time machine, one that was tossed 70 years into the future.
What?
I found out about it during a trip to 2025 and recovered it just in time to stop Riff Tannen from vandalizing the time stream.
Heavy. So that DeLorean...
Oh, he's referring to that ride in Universal.
Plus or minus little bells and whistles I've added over the years, of course.
So what were you doing in 1931 anyway?
Oh, nothing terribly exciting. Indulging in a little personal nostalgia, picking up a few rare out-of-print books to surprise Clara on her birthday, solving a historical mystery or two. The usual.
Usual? You lead a pretty unusual life, Doc.
It's an unusual universe, Marty.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
I know. Worse yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
Guess who I bumped into at the soup kitchen? My grandfather.
No!
Don't worry, I didn't talk to him or change his future or anything.
Good.
I wish I could, though. This era's Tannen is treating him like dirt.
Don't worry. If history plays out as it's supposed to, he'll soon be out from under Kit Tannen's thumb and free to live out his life as a humble accountant with your grandma. What was her name again?
Sylvia.
Right, Sylvia.
I hate to tell you, Doc, but your last time departed display is on the fritz.
It is? So how did you find me?
I found one of Edna Strickland's shoes in the DeLorean.
How did one of her shoes get in the DeLorean?
Einstein took it from her.
He did? How strange. Einie almost never attacks people. Not without a good reason, anyway.
Hang in there, Doc. Hey, Miss Strickland.
Oh, hello, Mr. Crockett. Try not to draw any undue attention my way. I'm on the trail of a hot new scoop, as we in the newspaper business say.
What's the scoop?
I've heard rumors that something shady is going on at the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen. It's under new management, you know. And oh, we mustn't jump to any conclusions. Not till the facts are in. I hope to heaven it is just a rumor. That soup kitchen is the front line in the good fight. If it goes bad, what will happen to the Stay Sober Society? Not to mention all the charitable institutions that depend on me for soup deliveries.
Ugh.
Did you finish the story you interviewed me for? About Carl Sagan?
Yes, but those pig-headed editors at the paper rejected it. They said my story was slanted, and that I was glorifying a suspected arsonist. As if their stories aren't always glorifying the criminal vermin that run this town. This whole thing makes me so mad I could spit. Though of course I never would. There's an ordinance against it, and it's so untidy.
You make hot soup deliveries?
It's one of my many small contributions to the good cause. Healthy bodies, healthy souls, or so one hopes. I pick up barrels of hot soup at the kitchen, and I deliver them hither and thither. Hill Valley Orphanage, the St. Francis Xavier Ranch for Unwanted Children, Foggy Mountain Home for the Incurably Insane, Shady Acres Rest Home. Oh, I can barely keep track of them all. It's a very big job.
I'm sorry about the way Einstein lit into you back there. I don't know what got into him.
Well, I hope you've learned to keep him under control.
Yeah, I found someone to keep him distracted.
Very good. Now let's see if you know your multiplication tables.
What's the Stay Sober Society?
You haven't heard of the SSS? They do the most marvelous work, taking hopeless drunken bums and turning them into former hopeless drunken bums. I'm one of the founding members. And not to say that I was ever, well, you know. Anyway, we've always met in the cellar of the Sisters of Mercy soup kitchen, but for some reason the new managers don't want us down there, so we're stuck. We've got nowhere to meet.
That bitch is ugly.
I know a place where the Stay Sober Society can meet.
Oh? Where?
You could meet in the Speakeasy, the one that got bombed last Wednesday.
Now wouldn't that be poetic irony? But I'm not sure the building is structurally safe.
I got a book.
Oh? Where?
Hey, how you doing, Einie?
Einie?
It's short for Einstein.
Einstein, of course. Because he was a patent officer just like you.
You have to deliver a lot of subpoenas.
Father's always sending me out to do these dirty jobs. He wants to expose me to different kinds of people. All he's exposed me to is a lot of new curse words.
Oh.
This subpoena's for Arthur McFly?
Have you seen him?
For a few seconds in the soup kitchen, but I think he's gone back into hiding.
Brilliant deduction, Einstein.
How about Kid Tannen? What do we know about him?
He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's not very bright, and he doesn't like anybody getting in his way.
Yep, that's a Tannen, all right. This might be a stupid question, but couldn't you have designed your rocket-powered drill to run on fuel that, isn't illegal?
Illegal? What does law have to do with science? Science has its own laws. You, of all people, should know that.
We'll get that subpoena delivered. My name isn't...
Sonny Crockett!
Yeah.
It's saved!
Hey, Q-Ball.
What?
The truck just arrived with a fresh shipment of, soup.
Soup?
Well, this is the regular soup, and this is the special soup.
Right. Special.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm spicing up the soup. It's my secret recipe.
Listen, this ain't the Savoy, and we ain't here to feed these bozos no fancy soup. The boss has got a business to rebuild, so knock off the goofing and mind your post.
All right. Just try the soup. Well?
Ah, I can see why you want to keep this a secret.
What about those barrels?
What about it?
What kind of soup is that?
It's not it's special soup.
What's special about it?
It's made for grown-ups, kid.
A soup for grown-ups?
That's right, kid. Be nosy. See where it gets you.
Okay, I saved the game. Like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. See you 4 5 hours later.